I glance at the phone buzzing on my desk. The notification flashing. It's Colton. Family meeting Saturday. Mom needs surgery. Dad's memory's getting worse. Urgent. My grip tightens. My pulse a steady drum in my neck. The coffee mug next to my keyboard rattles as the phone slips from my fingers, hitting the desk with a soft thud. The words hang in the air longer than they should. Pulling me back. Willow Harbor. I haven't stepped foot there in nearly 2 years. The last time I did, it felt like I was suffocating in my own skin. Dinner at the country club. Colton's firm handshake with the mayor. Maris flaunting her 3-carat diamond. Her husband ordering another round of drinks. When are you going to get a real job? Pies? Colton had asked. Loud enough for the entire restaurant to hear. My throat had closed up as he added, This computer thing's cute. But you're 30 now. Time to grow up. The sting of humiliation had burned my face that night. Even as I sat in the corner, nursing a drink, wondering how they couldn't see me, I'd walked out that evening, leaving behind a lifetime of second place. Walking away had felt good, too good. The irony of it all clings to me now. 4 months since the acquisition of my company. And I still haven't told them. They have no idea what I've become. I pull my hand away from my phone. And for the first time, my gaze lingers on the bank app, 8 figures staring back at me. My fingers hover above the screen. I could call him. I could tell him everything right now. But I won't. They don't get to control the narrative this time. A knock at the door breaks my thoughts. Noelle steps in, dressed in her usual crisp. White blouse and tailored slacks. Like she belongs in a corporate world I left behind. You're 0. 6% vested in Aurelia stock today, she says, laying an envelope on my desk. Another $11. $2 million. Will you finally tell them who you really are? I don't answer right away. The decision forms inside me, solidifying with each passing second. I stand, coffee dripping onto my jeans, and I reach for my phone. I dial Colton's number, my voice steady when he picks up. I got your text. I'll be there Saturday. I push the memory back, but it drifts in anyway, too loud, too bright. The family dinner at the country club. Colton, always the one to take the lead. Greeting the mayor like he was destined for greatness. Maris, with her diamond, like a prop for her life. Each laugh perfectly staged. And me, sitting at the edge, trying to find a way to disappear in a room that never truly saw me. I remember the heat of Colton's voice when he called out across the table. When are you going to get a real job? Pies? This computer thing. It's cute. But you're 30 now. Don't you think it's time to grow up? His words sliced through the air, each syllable thick with condescension. I tried to laugh it off. But it wasn't funny. Not when Maris added, You know, Elliot has a friend at his firm. Could help you find something stable. With benefits and everything. The pity in her voice was like a slap, wrapped in a soft tone. I could feel the whole table's eyes on me, silently agreeing with them. I was the screw-up, the one who couldn't get it right, the one who still clung to that ridiculous computer job. I wanted to fight back, to scream at them, to tell them everything I had achieved, but instead, I stayed silent. That night, as I walked out of the club, leaving behind the clinking glasses and forced laughter, I could almost hear their whispers. They thought I was nothing. They thought I was a failure. But I knew better. 4 months. That's all it took for me to turn my life around. I wasn't the broke girl from Willow Harbor anymore. I wasn't the one they could write off. I had built something. Granite Key Cyber had been acquired for $65 million. And still, I hadn't told them. Not a word. They had no idea. I take a deep breath, watching the soft glow of my computer screen in the dark room, the figures of my new life staring back at me. But there's still that peace inside me, the peace that remembers the sting of their rejection. I clench my fist, the heat rising in my chest. I've fought for this. I built this. And now, they'll see. They'll finally see me for who I've become. Not who they wanted me to be. The phone buzzes again, breaking the silence. Colton, we need to talk about Mom's surgery. It's urgent. I glance at the screen, my finger hovering over the call button. The past is calling again. But this time, I won't be the one left behind. I hear the sound of Colton's voice before I see him. His booming, "There she is," hitting me like a wave. I force a smile, letting him pull me into a hug. But it's all too familiar, one-sided. Robotic. He guides me inside, his hand firm on my back. But it feels like he's pushing me further into the past, into a place where I'm still the failure he's always known. "Economy?" he asks, his eyes lingering on my jeans. That same judgment in his gaze. Like I'm still the girl who couldn't afford better. Maris, sitting in the living room, barely looks up from her phone. But when she does, her eyes skim over me with an unspoken criticism. "Silicon Valley casual," she mutters, the edge of her voice sharp. Without waiting for a response, she hands me a Nordstrom gift card. "For interview clothes," she says, lowering her voice. "Elliot mentioned a position at his firm. It's not fancy, but it'll give you stability." The words are too soft, too patronizing. "Thanks," I manage, the words tasting bitter as they leave my mouth. I cross the threshold into the kitchen, where Mom stands at the counter, her walker a reminder of how much time has passed. Her face lights up when she sees me, but the effort to move towards me is too much. And I rush to her. "Don't get up. Mom, I've got you." She leans into my embrace, her frail body trembling. Dad is sitting at the table, his confusion fading into recognition as he looks at me. "There's my computer, girl," he says, his voice cracked and distant. Dinner is a parade of empty conversation. Colton bragging about his latest deal. Maris chiming in with stories about charity events, her voice too high-pitched to be real. I sit there, listening, but not participating. "So, Paisley, how's that startup thing going?" Colton asks, his words coated in mock interest. "Still playing with computers?" The sting is familiar. But this time, I don't flinch. "It's going well," I reply, my voice steady. But the fire behind my eyes is hard to hide. Maris doesn't let it go. "She needs a real job," she adds to Mom, ignoring me entirely. That's why I gave her the gift card. Elliot says first impressions matter. The slap of her words echoes in my chest. But I say nothing. It's like they've already written my role in this family. And it doesn't matter how far I've come. They'll never see me as anything other than the girl who didn't make it. Then, Colton leans forward, interrupting the silence. "We've been looking at facilities for Mom and Dad," he announces, flipping through papers like he's running a board meeting. "Found a few good options." I catch Maris's glance. And that's when I know this has all been decided without me. "When did you do this?" I ask, my voice rising. "Last month?" Maris says, brushing it off like it's no big deal. "We thought you'd be too busy." I know. I can feel the anger rising in my chest, but I force it down. "So, no one thought to include me?" I ask, keeping my voice even. But the tension is thick in the room. Colton laughs, loud and dismissive. "You were probably busy with your coding thing," he says, shrugging as if it doesn't matter. "You wouldn't have been able to take time off." The words land like a punch. but I hold my ground. And no one thought to ask what I think? I ask. My voice sharp, cutting through the air. The laughter stops, replaced by uncomfortable silence. Maris shifts in her seat. But Colton doesn't back down. We've already made decisions, he says, dismissing me with a wave of his hand. You're just too busy with your startup to care. The words hit harder than I expect. But I'm done being the afterthought. I stand, my chair scraping across the floor. I care more than you think, I say, my voice low but unyielding. And I'm not leaving this time without making sure you all understand that. The room goes quiet. And I realize this isn't just about my parents' care anymore. This is my moment to finally be seen. To take back what's always been mine. The tension in the room crackles like static. Colton's face is still tight. That same arrogant smirk playing on his lips. You can't just waltz in here and act like you've got all the answers. He snaps. The words sharp and cutting. You think you know better than us? You think you have it all figured out? I don't blink. Just let the words wash over me, knowing that this is just the beginning of what's to come. You don't get it, do you? I finally say, my voice low but steady. You think I'm here to make a show of things? To prove something to you? I take a step closer, meeting his gaze head on. No. Colton, I'm here to make sure Mom and Dad get what they deserve. Not what you and Maris think is best. He opens his mouth to argue. But I cut him off. You've been playing at this family leader act for years. But look where it's gotten us nothing. They need real help. Not more of your schemes? Maris steps forward. Her eyes narrow with a sneer that makes my stomach churn. You're being dramatic. Paisley, she says, her voice dripping with false sweetness. This is about our parents, not your ego. She takes a step closer, the judgment in her eyes heavy. You should be grateful for what we're doing for them. I almost laugh. The audacity of it all, threatening to boil over. Grateful? I repeat, my words sharp. Grateful for you showing up and deciding what's best without even asking what they want? I can see Colton shifting behind her, ready to jump in. But I'm done being polite. You've never once cared about what Mom and Dad needed. Only what you could control. I'm not letting you push them around anymore. Colton's face hardens, and he steps in front of Maris, blocking my view. You don't understand what's at stake. Paisley, you never have. His voice drops to a low growl. This isn't just about some fancy care facility. This is about their future, our family's future. You think you can just waltz in and take over? He's shaking now. The words laced with frustration and something else I can't quite place. I meet his gaze. My eyes cold. I'm not taking over. Colton, I'm giving them a choice. Something you've never given them. His jaw clenches. But I see the flicker of doubt in his eyes. He doesn't want to believe it. But he knows I'm right. I continue, pushing him further. You've been telling them what's best for years. But all you've done is set them up for failure. The silence between us stretches, heavy with his inability to answer. Maris finally steps back, her mouth tight. You don't have the authority here. Paisley, you never did. Her words cut. But they don't reach me. I've had enough of being the one they've dismissed for so long. I look at her, my gaze unwavering. I don't need your authority. I'm doing this for them, not you. I turn away from them both, walking toward the window. The weight of their stares presses against me. But I stand tall, my back straight. I've already made the arrangements for Mom and Dad, I say quietly, letting the words settle in the room. They're going to a place that actually knows how to care for them, where they won't be treated like just another paycheck. The words hit harder than I expect, but it's too late for them to take it back. They stand frozen, the reality of what I've said sinking in. For the first time in years, I feel the power shift, and it feels damn good. Colton and Maris may not like it, but they can't change what's already been set in motion. You'll regret this, Colton mutters under his breath, but I just shake my head, turning back toward him. No, Colton, I say, the calmness in my voice cutting through his anger. You're the one who's going to regret underestimating me. The silence in the room feels suffocating as I stand there, the weight of my words hanging between us. I see Colton's jaw tighten, his eyes narrowing as he glances at Maris, then back at me. You've made your point, he says, his voice stiff with a mix of irritation and reluctant recognition. But this doesn't change anything. Mom and Dad still need us. You can't just come in here with your high and mighty plans and expect us to fall in line. I let out a breath, forcing myself to remain calm. No, Colton, I reply, my voice steady but sharp. What's changed is that I'm finally seeing clearly. I'm not doing this to make you look bad. I'm doing it because they deserve better than this. I point to the pile of brochures on the table. The options they've already picked out for our parents. You don't even know what they want. You never bothered to ask them. Did you? His lips press into a thin line, the anger simmering beneath the surface. You don't get it. We're doing this for them, he says. But there's a tremor in his voice now, an edge of doubt creeping in. I can see the cracks in his facade, the uncertainty he's worked so hard to hide. Are you? I ask, my voice low, but the words heavy with accusation. Because this whole thing, this "we'll decide what's best" attitude, that's not for them. That's for you. You want to feel in control. You want to hold on to something. Anything. That proves you're the one who's got it all together. My words strike him. I can see it in the way his shoulders stiffen, the tension that fills the air between us. Maris steps in, her voice biting. Enough. Paisley, she snaps. This is about our family's future. Not your need for attention. I almost laugh at the absurdity of it. Attention? I ask, my voice rising. This is about taking responsibility. This is about doing what's right, not what's easy for you two. She narrows her eyes. You think you're the only one who cares about them? Her tone cuts. But I'm done playing by their rules. No. I know you care, I reply, taking a step toward her. But it's not enough. You don't really see them. You don't listen to what they need. I turn to Colton, the words finally flowing freely, no longer contained by the silence between us. I'm not asking for your approval, Colton. I'm not even asking for your help. I'm telling you, for the last time, I'm doing this, not for me, but for them. He stands there, the weight of everything between us sinking in. The failure of our family's dynamics finally laid bare. You've changed, Paisley, he mutters, his voice softer now, almost defeated. I don't know if I like it. 9. I take a step back, feeling the surge of emotion rise in me. I don't care whether you like it or not. What matters is that I'm here. And this time, you're going to have to face the consequences of your choices. The room goes quiet. A heavy silence that settles over everything. Maris looks at Colton, then at me, her lips pressing into a tight line. Finally, she speaks, her voice barely a whisper. Maybe you're right, she says, the words coming reluctantly. Maybe we've been too focused on what we want. The admission hits harder than I expect, but I don't let it show. It's not about being right, Maris, I say, my voice calm, but resolute. It's about what's best for them. For Mom and Dad, And it's about damn time you both realize that. I. I turn away from them. The conversation over. At least for now. But something in the air has shifted. And for the first time, I feel like I'm standing on solid ground. This is my fight now. And I'm not backing down. I stand at the window, watching the sun dip below the horizon, painting the sky with streaks of orange and red. The house behind me feels both familiar and distant, as if I've stepped into a version of my past that no longer holds any power over me. I feel it, the weight of what's shifted. The fight is over. At least for now. But the change is palpable. It's in the way Colton and Maris stand a little taller. Their faces less guarded. Their words less sharp. There's a crack in their armor. A small but significant opening. Mom and Dad will be okay. I say quietly, almost to myself. The weight of their health, their future, no longer feels like something I'm carrying alone. They've made their choices, and now they'll see it through. Everything's going to be okay, I add, turning away from the window, my gaze meeting Colton's across the room. He nods slowly, a reluctant acknowledgement of the truth I've forced them to face. The silence lingers. But it's different now. There's no more tension. No more unspoken resentment. It's over. But it's just the beginning of something new. We'll work together from now on, Colton says, his voice steady. I simply nod. The quiet promise hanging in the air between us. For the first time, I feel at peace. I've fought for my family. But more importantly, I've fought for myself. The battle may be over, but the victory is mine. Thank you for watching. If you've ever struggled to make your voice heard in your family or your life, remember, it's never too late to stand up for what's right. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories of strength and transformation.